Nice pistol.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Newell Prize Playoffs in Week 1, brought to you, of course, by SteelSeries and Intel, of course, in partnership with Twitch Student as well. I am Zach, and I am here with my good friend Ant Pulio for our first ever co-cast on Newell. I mean, we've already done one map before now, but it's great to be back with you, and we got two great teams again, this time in a best of 3 in the losers bracket.
Yeah, losers, and we all know what that means. Not that they are losers, because obviously they made it to this far in the tournament, but that whoever loses this will be out. They'll be eliminated, they're gone. No more chances. Whoever wins this will stay in the lower bracket, but they'll continue through and try and have a chance again to fight for the lovely prizes that are provided by our sponsors and partners. So anyway, without further ado, hopefully we'll be getting into the veto, as we've already had that decided. It's been quite rushed, very quick and very different compared to the previous one, as the first one coming through, BU banning Ancients. Not too unsurprising. Like we said about it, it could slip through, but, you know, they just didn't want to deal with that, so they banned it straight off. And the Ruskin Ravens, they've banned Mirage. I guess that's not too surprising. Again, they don't want to play against puggy guys, so that's what they've gone for. They didn't want to deal with it, so they want to play for more, you know, simple setups.
I mean, I was just looking through their bans before we came into this one and the maps that they've picked. Genuinely, Ruskin have been a team that are very happy to take it to, I was about to say, to Nuke, to Ancient. They played Ancient a few times just through putting it through. Of course, Dust 2 banned out there and Inferno banned straight away. We're going through this one quite fast because we've got a game. Apparently, it's happening right now, so we've got to get through this very quickly, and then we're going to have Vertigo as our decider. And actually, we're straight in, and it looks like actually one of the teams has already won one of the rounds.
Yeah, that was the Ruskin Ravens, Anglia Ruskin University, picking up the pistol. It is, as we said, a bit rushed, but it's to overpass. And, well, it should be a bit of an event. It is BU's pick. So Ruskin have got onto the CT side, and so far they're pretty happy. They pick up the pistol, as we said, and they've now got a nice buy. 2.5 men, they've gone for a full eco. No plant, no force, no happy smile. So instead, they'll just be left on Glocks and 1 flash on Ray. Hopefully trying to make some magic happen, but I feel like that's unlikely, as Ray does find the first kill, finds a second, looking for more, but Cybrent will steal it away, taking down Ray, and Blocks will try and fight for their life as they fall back, but fall straight into the arms of the CTs awaiting them. A clean round for the Ruskin Ravens, 5 alive, and they're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, quite expected, I guess, from the Ruskin Raiders, although, you know, I say that, the second round can always go one of two ways. Occasionally, the T's will come back with a pretty impressive one, but considering the bye, I don't think that's too surprising for the Ruskin Ravens, and a very good start coming into this one, but choosing not to upgrade, that's most notable in this, as Yuzuki rather, takes that peak and loses half their life in the process, but of course taking down half at the same time in the one player with one of the AKs as well. It's not even one of the Galils. It does, of course, only get worse from here, though, for the Ruskin Raiders as they start playing Ravens, rather, as they start playing much further range, and when they're against the AKs, it's not going to be easy.
I just realised we can make so many bird-related puns, right? We can at least try to make bird-related puns with this squad. 2.5 men, I mean, not so much, but other way, the potential's there, as potential certainly is here in this round. 2.5 men taking it slowly and nice and slow. That's what you need to do. You've got the weaponry advantage. You've got the AKs. You've got the long range. You've got the util. Use it. And I say they've got util. They've only got 2 smokes left, so hopefully that will be enough to get them into the B bomb site, as that's looking like where they'll be heading. 3 guys currently here as Extamons. He'll get swung on by Yuzuki, and with that, that's the call being made to push straight into B. They're charging straight in. Ray trying to find whoever he can. Cybrent's sitting over on short. And he looks to swing out, but he's losing his teammates in the meantime, as he will kill the planter, will spray and get the double. Pulls out the Glock, tries to fight, but Ladder, he's got the better weapon. The AK reigns supreme. He'll secure the site, and it's almost getting stopped by Yuzuki with the Gallo from short, but he will just about stay alive, and he'll stay kicking as he gets one more kill. Yuzuki eventually shutting him down. Both players low now, and he's looking to try and find Ray. He has no idea where he is. He's looking to try and go for the long rotation, going around Monster, but thinks better of it. Goes back to short, and Ray's just playing passive performance planted for him. He'll fire off a few shots. That gives away his position. And now Yuzuki's got to try and find the kill. He can't stick this. He does have a kit. It is somewhat a bonus. He's waiting for the peek from Ray, but he's not faking. He'll fake again, but the moment he looks away, Ray will swing. And that is just timing fear.
And those, the two players that met in Connector at the start of the round, end the round. And I think coming into this one, of course, we cut a little bit short on our analysis coming into this one, of course. But Ray, one of the players that, just looking through the kills that they've had, an absolute standout player. And more notably as well, Urob as a player that I assume by the headshot percentage is probably the AWPer for this team. I mean, yeah, sort of much lower on the headshot percentage than any of the rest of the players. So I expect we'll be seeing an AWP for Urob at some point in the future. But once again, a little bit lower on the money, so not able to pick one up. Actually, X-Taman's left on a Mac 10 and will be going aggressive, but the player in towards Dice will potentially be able to pick him off if he does go a little bit too far. As Zay's searching Connector, not going to find anything early on, but just playing it safe and slow, all of these BU.5 men players.
Yeah, that's a nice usage of Util, and Util's certainly lacking on the CT side. They've not really got much at all. They do have the kits, but, well, one smoke. That's all they have for any sort of a retake, so it's not ideal. And BU.5 men, they're looking to try and take A quite soon. There's not really much to deter this attack either. Reed obviously has the molly, but they just have to use weapons and use their guns to do the talking. As AL will go down with nothing to show for it. Yuzuki will fall away with the AWP. He will be safe, but Cypher's running straight out to the site. He somehow gets a kill, looking for more. Lala says no. They'll be taking the fights and continue to do so as Yuzuki will swing out. He gets the AWP shot, looking for more, tries to go for the wallbang, just about missing, but hits the second one. I think at least Fizz will finish off the kill. And the bomb's been dropped. Urob and X-Taman's now left to try and get back into it. It's just the bullets doing the talking. The bullets, they talk very, very well as they will clean up the round. Yuzuki and Raider left alive. It's 3-1, BU.5 men. Looking, well, not the best in that round.
And I think it's sort of coming back to them. Just having only one player left alive in the third round means that then in the fourth, when they lose everyone, they're left with nothing. Urob, the only one with an upgraded pistol even, and when you're looking at Glocks into the round, it's never a good sign, really. Not a single player picking up a P250 even. There's Ale searching for that kill in towards mid, and may well be swamped by players. Cybran as well actually goes down to only 10 HP in a fight in towards Monster. It means that the M4 falls into the hands of the T's. And not only that, Cybran only one pistol shot away from death, and now another nice little headshot there puts Yuzuki only one pistol shot away from death. These Glocks, it doesn't even matter that they're only Glocks. The P250s may well have got the kills, but the low HP on these players means that this push in towards B is definitely going to be a lot easier for them, especially considering it's only Raider. Every single other player for the Ruskin Ravens is, I think, towards A. There may well be a player in heaven. I'm not exactly sure by the radar as Raider searching in towards Monster, and actually that M4A1S coming in useful a little bit there. Fizz gets a kill in response though, and actually picks up a second one on Yuzuka. And X-Taman's tries to plant the bomb. It actually does plant the bomb even. I didn't think that had gone down, but BU.5 men at least get the bomb plant. And maybe the P250s would have been better after all of that talk, because getting 2 more kills in that one may have made that retake a lot harder for the Ruskin Raiders and meant that it would have only been Fizz pushing in. But you know, BU.5 men, they can't predict the future. They definitely didn't want to go in with as heavy of an investment as that, and it does mean that they are going to be able to pick up an AWP if they do so please into this one, as they do, and 4 AKs on all the other players.
Yeah, that was those P250s would have been worth their weight in gold to just get the kill and get the headshots rather than the Glocks. But you know that in hindsight, if you would have bought the P250s, you know, before that, they would have just gone down with nothing. But a very nice round for BU.5 men, not quite making it work, not quite getting the victory, but a very, very close one. And made it costly for Ruskin Ravens. You can't be losing on that. Obviously only dropping 2 guys in the end, but getting the plant and getting 2 kills with basically just Glocks. That's impressive. That's not bad at all. As they do bring out a bit of a boost, or Ruskin Ravens do at least. Cybran watching through to the water position, and he's not quite seeing anyone as of yet. And they will fall off. A bit of noise made. Ray just not quite presenting his head. That's smart from him. I guess he's quite unaware, but either way, he's not dead. Yuzuki, he doesn't quite land the shot. He tags him up, but he doesn't get the kill. Urob down low, but he tags him back. Yuzuki down to 26, or Yuzuki down to 27, sorry. Urob down to 26, as he will try to hit another shot. Doesn't quite land it. I'm looking for a frag. 50 seconds left. Ray perhaps trying to keep the players here at B, trying to sell a bit of a fake. Fizz is sitting out on the barrels. Nade coming in. They're actually they're falling for it. They're rotating off. Oh, this is... how? One flash. That's all they need.
It really didn't take much, did it? But BU.5 men, without realizing it, have got a completely open A bomb site. There's only one player here. Actually, I take that back. There's a player on the dumpster at the moment, and that Molotov is going to stop them from pushing in easily here. Zay's actually managed to somehow get around it just that little bit, but I mean, one by one, the BU.5 men fall. Ray as well loses their life after getting one kill, and the Ruskin Ravens wipe them up on A bomb site, and no smoke in towards garbage there. I mean, it sort of ruins them, the BU.5 men. They don't throw any of their utility onto the A site.
That is baffling. I've said, you know, amateur moves and stuff, but that certainly is. You've got the util. You should have the money to buy, right? Then just throw, what, 2 smokes? One at the, or like a molly at the dumpster and then the smoke down, or sorry, a smoke at the dumpster and molly at bank or something. Something to get into the site. That's just basic CS executes, and that simple smoke being neglected, everyone can make these mistakes. Even top teams, the best of the best, do just sometimes make these mistakes, and that, it did cost them, as they certainly had a good way into the round. The rotations off were perfect for the T side. But that smoke, they get shut down. Yuzuki nailing his shots as well. He's not missing tonight so far, not too much at least, and fragging when he needs to, as it does put them into an eco once again. Ale wanting to be challenged, and he'll be playing with the M4. Takes the fight versus both of them, only wins versus one. Yuzuki will hit a frag as well, somehow hitting that flick back. Got slightly worrying, and it's got slightly worrying for Cybran too, but somehow he recovers. This is looking very good and very confident from the Ruskin Ravens.
But on the other side of things, they are leaving themselves liable now, really, to a B rush. I mean, 2 players playing passively on B with no, on A with no information. 1 player with an AWP on B. I mean, it is something that the BU.5 men can exploit if they do realize exactly what's happening with these players. I mean, well, Ladder losing out very, very early then as well as Yuzuki peeks in. No flash, no nothing, just not ready for a player to peek in towards mid. And once again, the BU.5 men left a man down and short coming into this one. I mean, only 20 seconds gone and they're already struggling. I mean, 1 player as well with only 40 HP. These nades being used to incredible use as well. I mean, look at this. They're Ruskin Ravens players. It's not like they're low on utility even. They've got more than the BU.5 men players. Azurob misses an AWP shot on towards barrels. Misses yet again. And Raider knows that he can just swing. Picks up 2 and actually, in fact, gets the bomb. As more players push in, Ruskin Ravens all crowding around that bomb. Zace at least gets the kill on Raider, but the AWP coming out strong for Cybran. And now a 1 versus 4 for Ray with only a minute past. It's not looking good. I mean, 26 damage taken to a bomb. Just after I say that, it only gets worse for him. The bomb completely in the Ruskin Ravens' control, and really, there's not much that he's going to be able to do here. Well, I say that, he swings out, he gets 1, and actually gets a 2nd as well, but it's a little too late as the Ruskin Ravens. They do lose a little bit of economy, but, I mean, they won't mind. They pick up a 7th round, and, I mean, they're really pulling away with this map.
They're just looking so dominant. As you said, the use of the util, looking so comfy, just dismantling the BU.5 men's squad. And like you said, straight at the start, the AWP goes for the pick. There's a dry peek. I'm guessing he wasn't expecting it, but I mean, that can happen. It can happen. And I've got PTSD and nightmares of a guy consistently doing that in maps before, who would just constantly go for that AWP peek and would constantly hit it. And unless BU.5 men do something about that, he'll consistently punish them for it. And Ale, he'll somehow get a double. A beautiful flash from Yuzuki going across. A nice little assist for him. And he does go down, but that's a positive trade. 2 for 1. That is lovely. And also, as a reminder, this is BU.5 men's pick. They chose into overpass, and on this T side, they're just looking defeated. They're just getting absolutely battered by Ruskin Ravens at this point. And, I mean, they do obviously have chances, and there's still another half to this half. But so far, we're not seeing much depth in their strats.
We're seeing almost no depth in their strats. I mean, the Ruskin Ravens, they've not really had to adapt at all. They're still playing that exact same setup. They're playing 2 towards A. They're playing 3 towards B, just that passive play. I mean, switched up just a little bit into this one, but not much is changing for them in terms of their hold. The basics are still very much the same, and BU.5 men clearly haven't watched any of these demos, which of course are actually available. I believe that they can pretty easily find these, but weren't ready for this play on overpass as they start opening up the A-bomb site. Yuzuki getting 1 though. probably shouldn't have had time to get that one. At least Ray picks one up in response, and X-Damon's left in a 1 versus 2. At least the bomb is down in his favor, but I mean, nowhere near where he should be playing. Sees one, spots the second, but nothing's going to happen there as they pick up the M4A1S for the retake and swap back to the AWP for the rest of the round. Ruskin Ravens once again winning, and actually they're going to save both of the AWPs. It's hardly any damage to the economy considering they've saved both of them. I mean, that's 10k saved.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, and nice, and it's not the best to lose 3 guys, but it's not that damaging, it's not that damning, and they can continue to buy. They've had enough comfy rounds. They've not been consistently battered. That's one thing that you sort of need to do on the T side, or either side. If you're down, you're getting pistol rounds, you need to consistently kill people and take away weapons. And if you're not doing that, if you're not keeping them on the back foot with the money, they can just build up a bank and buy in very comfortably like this. They've got plenty of util, they're just overflowing with weapons, and obviously that will help them out and give them the confidence and continue to take these fights versus BU1.5 men. And it's showing. And once again, Cybran, he's pushed up towards B. He's got the AWP and he hits the shot. Simple enough, down to 13, but still alive. And with the AWP, that's the world of difference in this game. As they're now down on the T side, down to 4 guys. The bomb's been left all the way back near spawn. So keeping that in mind, I hope they don't forget about it entirely and have to go back all the way to get it. Urob is looking for a jump boost, and he does hit the shot, but doesn't get the kill. AL down to 27, and with that, he won't be peeking anytime soon. He'll fall back to the truck. Yuzuki's still here with the AWP, and a rotation is called with Reader. Now shifting up. At least thinking about it anyway.
We've seen what these Ruskin Ravens players can do, though, on low HP, especially on the retake, which is probably what we're going to see here as the BU1.5 men players start forcing their way into B. Ladder gets 1 kill. Cybran left on towards the barrels, and Ladder actually picking up a second. Really well played from him. And now this is going to be a retake for the Ruskin Ravens as the bomb goes down actually for Heaven here, which indicates maybe the BU1.5 men are going to push forward a little bit. No, they sit back, and the boost is actually going to be heard by the BU1.5 men players. They got 1 man underneath it. I believe that is Ladder sat underneath this boost, and so none of these players giving themselves away to it. The flash coming in over the top as well, but it actually benefits Raider as Ladder looking in the wrong direction. The bomb, kills going one way and another. It leaves it all in a 1 versus 1. Urob all on his shoulders. A kit in the hands of Raider, and wow, what a nice little swing from Urob. BU1.5 men double up their round tally. And while it was all going wrong for them, at least they get 1 round in their favor. I mean, as well as that, you talk about how 3 players dying on the Ruskin Ravens team doesn't really mean much, but look at Fizz, look at Ale. They don't have all that much money, and it means that we're going to see a 5-7 in the hands of Fizz.
Yeah, that's not the best weapon, but I'm sure he certainly can make it work. Just get a really close angle, sitting on short, sitting at the divide, or even just sitting at barrels with your head down, waiting for the money to come in, smoking it and playing around that smoke. It can be very lethal. We've seen kills with it before and seen kills with it earlier, I believe, on Nuke. Even especially sort of sitting in the hot position. So, you know what? I wouldn't count them out. I wouldn't count them out at all, especially when they do have the AWP and 3M4 surrounding it. Slightly an odd position, but it's a boost coming out, and that's a nice little angle, nice bit of information into the connector position. They won't see anything at all, though. They'll drop off. They'll fall back to B to safer territory. And BU1.5 men, they do look to continue to push through. Nice default being played. Zay's now clearing out connector as the other 3 look to work their way towards A. Now Ray picking up the bomb, leaving B. It looks to be an A hit. And, it's gone well for them before, but it's also fallen entirely apart. So they're going to have to nail these shots, and Ruskin Ravens, they're welcoming this challenge.
They are 2 players in towards the A-bomb site, as we've seen time and time again for the Ruskin Ravens, and there goes the smoke down on towards the front of toilets. It's something that we've seen again and again, but this time Ale caught out by the gun on one of the players. Yuzuki not quite losing out and actually pulls off an incredible little shot there. X-Damons punishes him, though, before it can get too out of hand. Both players coming in from bank here. One goes down, though. Urob making sure that he doesn't cause any more issues than it does, but Raider starting this all-important pinch that we've talked about before, and Ray turns around and spots him, but not without the kill, going in favor of Raider still, and Urob, they know exactly where he is, coming round this corner nice and slow, gets 1 though, and going to swing for the second one, assuming that he's holding that bomb plant, but not knowing that the kit isn't in the hands of Raider. Raider wasn't ever going to stick that one, and the Ruskin Ravens stop that comeback in its tracks.
Yeah, 1 round. I wouldn't really say much of a comeback, and they did. I mean, it could have been. It certainly could have been. They had a chance there, as obviously we saw Ruskin Ravens on the back foot, but off the back of a hero play from Yuzuki, somehow, I don't know how he got that second shot, but so measured, so controlled, nailed it. Even went for another one, got that cheeky, tried to stop the bomb planter, but just about got caught off. But a brilliant play, and again, a brilliant retake from the Ruskin Ravens. They're not stopping at all, 9-2, hoping to make it 10 as Boone Men. They're down once again to pistols. It's only a half buy, they're not forcing all the way through this, but it's not the best weaponry. They're looking to challenge it and looking to push through to be at least two of them getting around the smoke, but the nade does so much damage. They all just emerge from the smoke and try to take the fight. They'll somehow get it Ray with a double with the Tech 9. Completely ruins the plans of Ruskin Ravens on the side. A will get a frag back, but the damage so far has been done. And a dent is all half men need. Zays is making even more dents. Kills with some lovely headshots with those deagles, leaving Yuzuki by himself. And with that, I believe he's going to be saving, and Ruskin Ravens calling a pause.
I mean, you say this, Yuzuki has managed some pretty ridiculous flicks so far and may want to push his look just that little bit further. I mean, still looking for an entry kill and hoping that maybe the BU.5 men show just that little bit too much, but realizes that actually he's not going to get all that much from it. And BU.5 men definitely going to make that one to 9-3. And, well, I mean, just a really good push from them. I mean, talking about the issues that, of course, the Ruskin Ravens had in their hold, the B hold, I've said this already, has been a little bit dicey, as X-Damon's actually going to try and take that AWP out of his hands. And now it's a fight to the death, but there goes the AWP. Yuzuki not able to hold on to it, and actually the economy completely in tatters for the Ruskin Ravens. Reminds me quite a lot of the old economy back when you'd win a round and then instantly lose one again. Your economy would just,
reset.
I mean, just die. Of course, now we don't quite have it quite that bad, but it has reset the economy for the CTs. I mean, they haven't had a losing streak going on, so that actually is a full reset to their economy. And means that they are definitely going to have to force into this one because, of course, if they don't force, they're pretty much left in a double eco situation. But once again, BU.5 men, they just had to run out onto B, and there were some nice pistol shots there, but I think they're realizing now that those three players out on B, it means that it's ample for the taking.
Yeah, it certainly is, and if they can win with pistols, they can certainly win with AKs. I'm looking at the actual lives left alive. I think it was at rounds 8 and 9. Ruskin Ravens only had 2 guys left alive. 10 and 11, or sorry, 10, they didn't have anyone left alive, and 11, they only had 1 guy left alive. So this final round, when no one was left alive, they were just completely wiped out. That was the final nail in the coffin, and their economy, as you said, completely demolished, completely dead. And as you said, they will be forcing up with some pistols, and they can win with it. There's nothing to laugh at. They do have armor, and 3 Deagles certainly do have a bite, as Ale does find 1 kill. Cybrin getting 1 as well. Ale doubling up. Ladder, he'll get 2 as well, trying to open this A bomb site, but 1 man up. Ruskin Ravens looking to try and take it. Raiders found an AK as well. He's pushed all the way through. That's B completely secured, essentially, and he can make the call for the 2 of them to go across to A. And he can actually sort of speed up on this flank, and this could be absolutely devastating for BU.5 men. Just when they break at Ruskin Ravens, the Ravens, they fly back into it. In a round, they really should be able to.
Let's not jump to conclusions too early, though, because the Ruskin Ravens are playing pretty passive on this A bomb site, and it does leave it to the BU.5 men to plant. And actually, they're going to push in. Fizz gets 1, and that's going to definitely favour the CTs, especially as Ace just runs down on towards B and outplaying themselves a little bit there. The BU.5 men, a 2 versus 3. You make of that what you will. They've not done the best job early in the round against the pistols. They didn't know they were there, to be fair, but a little bit disappointing from the BU.5 men to not predict that economy. But they need to probably do something a little bit different there in the end game. They decide instead to play the close angles, and it doesn't work out for them. At the same time, Ruskin Ravens left a worse buy despite winning that round. So BU.5 men are going to still have the AWP and still have the AKs, but a Deagle on the hands of Ale and a FAMAS in the hands of Fizz, it's not looking particularly great for them, especially as Ale gives away that he is only on a Deagle to the Ts, and that's probably going to confuse them a bit, as it's confusing me. I don't really understand what's happened to the economy for that to happen. But the Ruskin Ravens, once again, playing passive, and the BU.5 men, again, sitting pretty passive themselves, not searching for anything that they don't think they're going to get.
I want to say and bring up that you say it's only a Deagle. he did get 2 kills versus a full buy with the Deagle last round. 2 headshots. That it certainly was the catalyst, or at least part of one, as to why Ruskin Ravens won the round. So it's a Deagle, but he can prove that, or he has proved, that he can get kills with it. As Fizz will peek out in the wrong direction at the wrong time. He will go down, Smoke going down, but Raider in an aggressive position. He's actually primed to shut this down perfectly if BU1/2 men do decide to push into it, as Ale will swing in now. He rotates across, shot missed, and he actually collects the FAMAS, so that's a bit of an upgrade for him. Flashes going across, Raider finds the first, unaware of a player at Monster, but tries to readjust, doesn't quite land the spray. Ale's winging up, not quite landing the shot either, as Ruskin Ravens, they drop 1 by 1. Cyber does get 1 kill back, a bit of a consolation frag, as now he's stuck in a 1v3, trying to get out, only half HP, trying to take the fights. And eventually they double up, almost getting the spray, but he can't quite land it. And BU1/2 men, they'll get to 4, hoping to take at least 5 on this T side.
And this is now the 3rd successive round where the Ruskin Ravens do not have a full buy coming out. Every single one of them, again, in a bit more of a difficult situation. It's even worse than it was in the last one. While the BU1/2 men pretty happily come into this one, having had that full loss bonus for a few rounds in a row, and the bomb plants many rounds, well, round after round, really, means that they're able to do it. But Cybran doesn't care about the economy early on. He doesn't care what I have to say, just getting that kill in towards Connector as Raider going to push his luck even further. I'm not exactly sure why he's doing that one. Considering, of course, the Ruskin Ravens, 1 man to the good. Urob gets the kill, though, not ready for the player in towards Pillar. 1 going for Rado, and looks for a second, actually does rip off the head, and now Cybran left in a 1 versus 3 to pull the round to 11-4 in the Ruskin Ravens' favour. It could end up going 10-5, though, if BU1/2 men keep this advantage. The bomb going to go towards A, but it's slow, and most importantly, that connector door is open, and it means that X-Damons could be caught out if Cybran pushes fast enough.
Very big if, but with those footsteps being made, X-Damons, he's being very, very noisy, and Cybran should have an idea that they are heading towards a 50 seconds left. He's going to smoke the plant, and he will stick it, as Cybran will come behind and try to get a kill, and he'll just nail that headshot, instantly finding it, putting it into a 1v1. He doesn't have a kit, but he has a smoke and a molly, so that will slightly lessen his lows. But he's going to find Ladder, and Ladder's had some very nice shots. Currently going 11 for 12, hoping to make it even, and he does. The timing is in his favour. He somehow flicks straight to Cybran, and he will get BU1/2 men their 5th round. Not a bad recovery in those last few rounds, but I was expecting better considering they picked into it.
I was absolutely sure that Ladder was going to lose that one. Very impressive for him to win. I don't know where that headshot came from. He looked away at just the wrong time. We're actually getting a tactical timeout before the rounds even started. I mean, I guess maybe the Ruskin Ravens just need a little bit of time to think out their buy. Yeah, I mean, just taking a little bit of time to pick up the weapons that they want, probably chatting through the strat that they're going to be picking up. But I mean, looking at it and seeing what they've decided to do, I mean, it's not all that different to what you'd expect, really, with a smoke and 2 flashes on 1 player, the rest of them all in armor, and a very similar thing from the BU1/2 men. X-Damons pick to go on the kit. I'm interested to see what's going to go on with that 1 smoke. I can only think of a few places where that matters, and those are probably just, well, if you're only going with 1 smoke, I think it's probably just A, as Zace going to take that peek in towards mid and spots a few of them all at the same time. Well, there we go. There's going to be a quick rotate from 1 player, you'd imagine, as they all start pushing in towards long, and I guess this is probably going to be a fast push on towards A site as they actually take long toilets and maybe going to go down on towards B.
It looks like it. Well, it certainly looks like it, but this is a nice position for the 2 players on shore. Up so aggressively, 1 in the corner. Ray can't get anything despite looking so good. Will have to try and deliver, and he only gets 1 as well. Man advantage coming out of it. A bit of damage done, but it doesn't matter too much as Ruskin Ravens, sorry, not Raiders, as X-Damons tries to take the fight, tries to shoot, but they'll realise the site is open. They'll get the plant. They look to push in or counter push in from BU1/2 men, and they're getting the kills somehow. They're landing the shots. Fizz with the USP trying to take the fight. Yuzuki's here as well. He'll swing out and try to do damage as well. The bomb is planted for them. He's just waiting for them to push. Yuzuki with a Glock up close, can't quite land the shot. The diffuser's coming in. Fizz gets the first and the second, but now out of bullets. He's going to have to go for the knife and down to 4 HP. He's looking to run all the way around. Ladder will have heard him. He has the kit, and he's just going to stick it. He drops the flash too, hoping that he's got time, but Ladder He makes the defuse. Fizz runs out of bullets, somehow gets a kill at the end. So close, nice attempt, but he had to upgrade to the Glock as he just simply couldn't shoot him.
I mean, a little bit of a save there for BU.5 men. It looked like Fizz was going to absolutely trounce them and just let down by the lack of bullets in the weapon, maybe shooting through. Super easy to keep saying Ruskin Raiders, by the way. It's not an easy name to say, the Ravens, not the Raiders, as we keep accidentally saying. Yeah, it's really easy to slip up on that one, but the Ruskin Ravens have decided to force into this one, as you'd expect, seeing them on the Galils, you know, after getting the bomb down. They do have enough to pick that one up. I think it's something that probably should go a little out of fashion, though. I mean, with the M4A1S being as strong as it is now, the Galil not quite got that same effect at $2,900. The M4A1S still strong, and yeah, I'm sure the Force will start going out of favor because, I mean, ultimately, to get the same economy as the CTs, you definitely have the worst weapons already at a disadvantage as well. The Ruskin Ravens, with one player down in Yuzuki, someone that was absolutely tearing through the BU.5 men on the AWP in the last half, but, of course, only on a Galil this time and, well, on nothing now.
Nice nade onto Ale, taking a lot of damage off, but he does throw one back in return onto Zay's. A lot of damage done, but Reed is doing a lot of damage of his own as he gets 2 kills onto A, opens it up and makes it nice and easy for Ruskin Ravens to get the bomb plant. And the question is, do they try and go for this retake? 2 guys, or essentially all 3, pretty healthy. 3 for masses, but no kits, 2 smokes. It's feasible, but they do have to find 4 bodies. They've got to find them quite quickly. Zay's waiting for the swing. Ray just runs straight out, and Raider making quick work of them, taking down 2, but not quite getting the ace. It will be denied by Ladder, as Fizz will be the final player to get the kill. 11-6, BU.5 men. We said it in the last best of 1. It's the worst thing to happen. You win the pistol, and then you drop the ball in the second round. You can't get the conversion. Now they've got no money. They're going to have to force into it with a very, very scrappy buy. And Ruskin Ravens, they've got looking a lot more healthy and a lot better, but it can fall apart if they're not careful. They certainly have to exercise caution here, and we will see if that does come to light.
I look like a real idiot saying that the second round buy isn't as good as it was after the Ruskin Ravens win that one, and Yuzuki gets the first kill as Ale taking this fight on towards B. I mean, eventually, surely is going to be punished as the 5-7s and the Deagle take the fight, and actually 3 players on towards short right now as they start pushing forward, maybe going to regret this one as the 2 players peek out of connector, and I need to stop predicting things because it goes in favor of BU.5 men, turns it to a 4 versus 3, and Yuzuki left to do nothing more than just close the door and back away. Ruskin Ravens going to start pushing on towards the A site, and it's only Zace that's here, rips off the head of Raider though. Fizz gets the kill in response, now a 2 versus 2, and on the retake there's no kit in favor of the BU.5 men, so they have to be fast. The HP advantage heavily in favor of the Ruskin Ravens as well, and that nade might do a lot of damage to Ladder. Actually loses a third of his currently remaining health, only on 10 HP now. It doesn't really mean all that much though, still going to die to only 1 bullet of the AK, making a lot of noise. Fizz still gets the kill, left all on the shoulders of Ladder, 10 HP and absolutely no dream, only a nightmare going through his head as Ruskin Ravens get double the amount of rounds of the BU.5 men and take it to a 12-6.
4 rounds away from causing the upset and taking BU.5 men's map. That is the dream for Ruskin Ravens at the moment, and it's certainly reachable. It's certainly realistic as BU.5 men, now they're ecoing full USPs. They can't really do much with it. They are bringing out something spicy, something nice, and Ruskin Ravens do have to be careful as 5 USPs on B can certainly be the downfall of a round, as Ale is trying to take it carefully, probing in, gets that first kill, backed up by Cybrin, and Zaze, of course he does, gets 2 headshots, takes them both down. Yuzuki's trying to hold and clear out both players there, trying to stop them from getting the AKs, but he's a bit too late. They've already picked them up. They're heading away, and Yuzuki pulls out the knife at the wrong time, realizes just in time to have the AK, takes down 1 more player, looking to find Zace, and he will. Aim punch is not the best thing to deal with if you've not got any armor, leaving it up to Urob to try and win the 1v3. He's got the AK, no armor, no nades, and despite Yuzuki, will not quite win that fight. Fires first. Yuzuki's just a bit of a quicker draw, and he'll nail the headshot. Nice play from the Ruskin Ravens. Also, nice attempts. I like what they're going for. You don't see enough just eco stacks and stuff, wacky things to do with just full USB buys. I mean, you might as well stack the site because you either have a horrible retake or you can possibly, you know, stack the site and just nail them. So I think it's better than just playing standard default, which is good to see. But in the meantime, we do have a bit of lag apparently, and apparently possibly server lag as we still continue playing the game. It is live, so I'm assuming and I'm taking that it is continuing in that fashion.
I would imagine that this is that. I mean, it's just a CSGO glitch. I'm fairly sure it's the one where you have to just type in that console and change things up. There's nothing that our server can do. It's just something that happens a few times, but it does affect the Ruskin Ravers in a way. They all have to sort of sit back and spawn, but at the same time, BU.5 men haven't really taken all that much of the map, so sort of equalizing in that way. I mean, the BU.5 men actually haven't taken any of the map. Both teams incredibly passive so far. This is their first buy round in this one, BU.5 men, and it does not go well early on. Fizz once again ripping off the head of Urob, the player on the AUG, normally the AWPer for this team, and now it's all left on X-Damons to hold the A-bomb site, pushing in aggressively as well. Gets one and going to go in towards the toilet as well. Might be able to catch one of them unawares. Zace, though, on the site, gets another one. X-Damons has actually got the bomb as well, and Raider gets his head just shot through that wall. It's not quite good enough from X-Damons. Although he will be saying that it was good enough. 2 kills and a headshot on towards Raider. It means that this retake is going to be made extraordinarily easy.
Oh, no.
In general, as Ray, maybe, will he start spamming through the smoke? Not in time, and gets at least a little shot on towards his body. It's left in the hands of Fizz, and these are more than capable hands as well. He's managed to get 1 kill in this round already and has shown up so far. And actually, Ray going to take that face, but back away, and now Ladder coming in from the other end, and Ray doesn't know where to look, gets the kill. And Ruskin Ravens have lost a round, and that's, I mean, a technical pause going to come into this one as well, just so that server lag can be fixed. Both teams experiencing it, so it means that is on behalf of the server. And yeah, that whole round sort of played with it just a little bit, and yeah, I think we're going to have not a massively extended technical pause here, as the players do know the command to get rid of that lag. Again, it's just endemic to CSGO, nothing to do with the new servers. But the Ruskin Ravens losing a round. I mean, ultimately, BU.5 men win one, and that was a live round, so I mean, it's not easy for them.
Yeah, it really isn't easy. I mean, they're both in that position. They continue to play, and I mean, hopefully it wouldn't make too much of a difference in terms of the long outcome. I mean, Ruskin Ravens, they still got the bomb plant, made it very devastating, and it was a very good attempt from Fizz in the corner, trying to fight his way out of it. It was a very good attempt, and Reader obviously just going big as well, getting so many kills, getting an important impact on the site. Just unfortunate in that scenario. It's slightly odd for Reader to get the plant and then swing where he was getting spammed from when he was so low HP. But, I mean, you know, brain farts, we make mistakes, it happens, and, well, hopefully he'll learn from it and swing back in and just absolutely smash BU.5 men. 3 rounds is all they need, but they're 3 very difficult and very hard to win rounds. As BU.5 men, they're now starting to get rolling. They've got to buy, not the best economy in the back, but they've got enough money to buy for the moment. They've got the util, they've got the kits, and they do have a frag. 1-man advantage, and they do slow down Ruskin Ravens as a boost is looking to be brought out. Ale looking to get hopped up. Ladder is completely vulnerable, and that's a 1-tap. Easy kill back. And Ruskin Ravens look to make good use of that. And that's a boost you see sometimes, but apparently not common enough. There's a bit of an oversight from Ladder, will end in his demise. Rain, a very cheeky off angle through the edge of it, will try to get a kill back. Molly pushing him further, somehow finishes off Ale. The Cyber finds 1-2, 3-on-3. Bomb going down, can't be stopped. Molly coming in a bit too late as Yuzuki can escape. Orp in his hands as well, looking for a frag. Urob's got, oh no, he's got an AK, but he's out of heaven, trying to look for an angle around. Cyber pushing through, and Fizz will go down. Yuzuki at the barrel will hit the first shot, continues to push, and that's a mistake. Zaze takes him down, leaving Cybern now in a 1v2. He'll relocate, looking to go around to short, hoping for a bit more of an advantageous angle. Hopping up, swinging out, and he sees Zaze, he gets the spray, continues to spray, and he nails Ray too. Stops the diffuser, and he gets Ruskin Ravens to 14 rounds. That is a gorgeous play if I've seen one.
Most notably, BU.5 men's map pick as well. So Ruskin Ravens sort of getting carried away on this one, 14-7. If this ends 16-7, I think it'd be fair to call this one a demolition. I mean, anything less than 8 rounds, and you kind of may as well have not shown up. I mean, it's really, you know, it means that you've not really done all that much on either half. I mean, you know, you expect to have 8 rounds in one half, let alone a full game, as once again, Ruskin Ravens train just a little bit there, but Xtainment still loses his head, and a lot of people will be left wondering why that train is still in the game. There is literally no reason for it to be there. It doesn't really matter in general in this round, but I mean, I think there was a 3Clicks Philip video about it years ago, and it is still in the game, and it still continues to stop lineups to this day. It bothers me, that train, if you can't tell. But Ruskin Ravens gone to map point.
To be fair, he did see the train, and then he thought, I'm going to throw it anyway. I'm assuming he didn't know that the train would stop it. I thought it was going to go over a bit, you know, sort of higher, but he saw it and he threw it anyway. So, I don't know. But yeah, unfortunate, and that's CS. Both teams have to deal with it. That's just how it is. They will continue to just win rounds, one away from taking BU1/2 men's map pick, and BU1/2 men, what a mouthful it is, but there's not much to chew on and to digest at this point. They don't have the best buy, but Ladder, he's going all the way through, looking to push forward, and Fizz down low will get finished off. That's a bit of a scare to Ruskin Ravens, but there's still 4 left alive. They do have a boost coming out, but they can't find a pick once again. Ale trying to probe up short. I think they might be intent on actually going to B, despite Ladder being so up aggressively, and he won't get any more frags. Ale will find one, and Ray will trade him back, but now he's the sole defender on B. Smoke going out. Urob so far away, pushing all the way through to T-spawn now, and Ray, he's got 20 kills so far, and he's going to have to continue to perform very, very well if he wants his team to stay in this game, and he can't. Cybern with a lovely swing. Out wide, nails the headshot. Hits it just perfectly, leaving Urob in a 1v3 to keep his team in the map. There is a second map. It is Nuke, but it's Ruskin Ravens' pick. And Urob, well, we're going to be going there. And if they want to stay in this tournament, they will have to take down Ruskin Ravens on Nuke, which is Ruskin Ravens' map pick, and take it to Vertigo, which is the decider map, should we get there. But, I mean, a bit disappointing out of BU1/2 men. Not to be insulting, because obviously fantastic players, but they chose into it. It should have been a bit better.
I mean, if you look at the lineup as well, all of these players have put in a shift coming out through this tournament in the Swiss round. I mean, all of them are positive with the exception of one player. But if you look at it, the maps that they pick in general, this doesn't suit them. Nuke and Vertigo do not suit them. They've not really been playing it. Mainly, it's been, you know, those maps that we spoke about earlier. It's been Overpass, it's been Inferno, it's been Mirage. So coming into this one, the ball is, even though it's obviously it's Ruskin Ravens' pick, it was always going to be in their favor. It's massively in their favor considering the maps that they played so far. And unless BU1/2 men have done a lot of prac on this map and a lot of scrims on this map in the off time between, of course, the Swiss stage and now. It's a massive uphill battle for them. They've really got a lot to prove here.
Yeah, they really do. And on the one hand, BU1/2 men will be starting off on the CT side. So CT side of Nuke is usually pretty. We said it at the start of the last best one. It's usually pretty easy, but as we saw, it's not always that simple. Anyway, we are going to be going to a bit of a break before the second map, I believe, and obviously we'll be shouting out our sponsors and partners. SteelSeries and Intel. SteelSeries with some fantastic award-winning gear, and Intel bringing you this lovely, lovely display and cast here, brought to you by me and Paulie Sakaria. And, well, we'll be back quite soon, so stick around.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Week 1 prize playoffs for the Newell Winter Championships. I am Zach, and of course, I'm joined by Ampulio. We're going into the second map of a best-of-3 series between BU.5 Men and the Ruskin Ravens. Looking forward to that. Obviously, we've just seen a map on, Overpass, and now we're jumping in towards Nuke. Thoughts on that one, Ampulio?
Yay, Nuke, for one. After just casting it straight back into it again. But also, I think it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we had Nuke, and it was quite a tight game between Swansea and
Durham.
We just did it. Durham, there you go. Thank you, Durham Defenders. I knew it was alliteration. Thank you for that saving grace. And obviously, that was a very, very it was a solid game, and both teams really put their all into it. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this develops, because as you said, this is Ruskin Ravens, not Raiders. It's their map pick. So obviously they're going to be quite comfortable. And considering they just won the last map, was it 16-7? They're going to be feeling they're going to have the momentum. BU.5 Men are fighting an uphill battle. And it's going to be an entirely different dynamic. They're not coming into it. First game of the night, fresh. It's going to be one-sided and momentum certainly in one favour. BU.5 Men, they have to, they've got to reset, They've got to reset and come into it and fight their way through. It's going to be difficult for them, but it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much you've summed up everything that I was thinking. BU.5 Men behind in this one. I mean, there's no way to put it other than that, other than just the map. They're behind. Even if this was a best of one, BU.5 Men would be behind coming into Nuke. It's not their ideal map. It isn't a map even similar to the ones that they've been playing on recently. It's completely the opposite, really. They're more of a team that enjoys playing in towards those puggy things, and I think we've seen it season in, season out. I mean, just looking at the lineup, I mean, he's not playing today, but Adam Stroud is a player that you might know from BU.5 Men in the past. Urob as well. They're all very puggy players. Generally, they're players that will sort of move towards maps like Dust 2 and Mirage and things like that. And then we've got completely on the other side of things, Ruskin Ravens. They've been going out there every single time. And generally the maps that you think of when you think new maps, so, as new as you can get for CSGO, which would be Ancient, Vertigo, Nuke. These are ones that are in their pool. And the next two maps, Nuke and Vertigo. So I think, honestly, it's Ruskin Ravens to lose at this point. They've shown their skill in the first one, and they've shown their ability in the Swiss. So I think, BU.5 Men, ultimately, I'm not going to count them out yet. Of course, we've got another 30 rounds of this to play, but at the same time, Ruskin Ravens, they're ahead.
Also, obviously, that was the first map that Ruskin Ravens took off BU.5 Men. 16-7 in, very happy fashion. Before that, the best of one, Ruskin Ravens, I think that UWEC Stags are the top seed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they fought them. Thank you. And they fought them 16-8. So it's not a bad display against the top seed. Whereas BU.5 Men, as I said, they played Portsmouth Paladins and they got absolutely smacked 16-3. So getting 16-3'd in a best of one, that's not the best. Then choosing, your first map, your own map, losing that 16-7. The mentality's got to be in the bin. It really has, and it's going to be tricky, as we said. I think the only sort of saving grace is the fact that they are on the CT side, and as I said, that's usually preferred. But as we said, it can be, if the rotations aren't good, it can just all fall apart. So they've got to be on top of it. They've got to reset themselves, and they've got to have this CT side nailed down, and just hit the shots, because you can win fights, as we saw earlier, with MP9s, with pistols, up close on Nuke. So even if the economy is not looking great, they need to show resilience and determination to try and bring this back in a reverse sweep. And it's possible, but it is going to be hard. Hopefully, it'll be a good game, though, still.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they'd lost 16-3 on Nuke last time. Wow, that's quite the stat. And, I mean, you have to wonder, there's a few questions I have, but if they're going in and know that they've lost 16-3 against the Portsmouth Paladins, who I think are they in the lower bracket now, or are they in the upper bracket? I can't quite remember.
Playing versus UWEC Stags.
Oh, so they are in the top bracket, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, you look at them, obviously Portsmouth are good if they're playing against the Sea Stags now, but at the same time, losing 16-3, that's not good. I think that goes without saying. And so you have to wonder why they've let that one slide through, why they've allowed Ruskin Ravens to pick that as their second map if they've struggled on it so much. I mean, you know, obviously I've said this, I think maybe 8 times so far in this stream, but if they have scrimmed it, if they've practiced it after that loss, then, you know, there's a chance that BU.5 men have something up their sleeve. But at the same time, I'm not inspired with much confidence hearing about that previous loss, and I think that it kind of puts a little bit more context to it that the BU.5 men maybe are gonna jump out of this one having lost 3 maps out of 3 in the top 8. I mean, you know, getting ahead of myself, but that would be what it would be if the Ruskin Ravens did win.
Yeah, and as you said, it's their map picks, so you're expecting it to a quite high degree. And I was saying about mentality, I have hopped into the game and heard quite a bit of screaming through their mics, so that is very funny to hear. That's why I was stifling a giggle. It's great. It's very great. It's lovely to hear, to know that they aren't quite demoralised, as we do get straight into the game. We have a pause. Apparently a tactical from Ruskin Ravens, not quite sure why. Apparently discussing this
on
strat.
Overpass as well. They did the exact same thing on Overpass. They called a pause on the T-side pistol round, and they won it. So, I mean, they did what was it? It was a long to mid to short B to B push, and it worked out very well for them. So there's a chance we see the old cinnamon swirl once again for the Ruskin Ravens. I think on Nuke, that's a push in towards ramp, then down out secret, and then on towards A site. So if we see the same level of play, that there's a very big chance that we see that from the Ruskin Ravens. Coming into this one, 4 of them with armor. Ale actually dropping the utility. I forgot that was a thing as Raider, with the nade pushing out, and actually a quick rush on towards this ace bomb site here. Raider, actually, it's completely open, just going to plant very easily. The BU.5 men nowhere to be seen. And, well, that's it. BU.5 men just have a retake, and the kit in heaven.
Taking their sweet time, but they do have a bit of time. Zace will get a 1 kill. Ale will find one back onto Ray as Urob's trying to shoot them down, trying to shut them out as Extamens is trying to fight for his life. Yuzuki winning that fight. He was good in the last map. Started quite well so far, but Fizz, he's just a bit better, getting 1 more kill. Urob left in a 1v3, and they're all shooting at him. And he can't get 1 kill. Ruskin Ravens straight in with the T-side pistol. No, that's confidence.
Not quite the swell that I thought it was going to be there, but the Ruskin Ravens still do pick it up, and actually, BU.5 men not even going to bother forcing into this one. Only a Zeus coming out on Urob, so keep an eye on that one, because when someone picks out a Zeus, it either goes horrifically wrong or comes out with a Zeus kill right at the start of the round, as the Ruskin Ravens look to abuse outside that smoke early, and, well, the kill on Extramens as well. A nice little headshot as Cybern starts pushing in through Mini, pulls out the bomb, but not quickly before coming out with the Mac 10 again and just spamming them down, but Ray gets the kill in towards Hut, and that's a nice little kill. Only going to be picking up an MP9, though, and, well, it doesn't, well, MP7 rather, and, well, MP7 goes as quickly as it comes, and there goes the Zeus that I highlighted right at the start of the round. Cybern plants the bomb, and the BU.5 men with a massive uphill battle coming into this one, misses the Zeus kill as well. They're all going for it, but the Ruskin Ravens, pretty clean. 3 players staying alive, and the BU.5 men probably not expecting all that much, going to force into this one.
Where is Anders? I love that. I mean, that was an odd play for Cybern to go for a Zeus at that distance when he had a Mac 10 fully functional in his hands. He could have just got $600, but instead he fluffed it, and it didn't quite land with a kill. Either way, they win the round. It's a conversion that's very important, but nonetheless easy enough, simple enough, and BU.5 men, they can't quite take it, but they will be spying up in this 3rd round. 5 M4s all across the board, no kits. I think coming out onto Ale, down to 10 HP, finished off by Urob, who's now watching Secret. Cybern looking to jump in, and jumps right on top of the barriers. He will go down as Urob doubles up, but Raider eventually will stop that. He gets a bit more control, finding the kill. Yuzuki's actually able to upgrade to one of the AKs or the Galil that's down there in Secret away from the scout, so that's a nice possibility should he choose to do that. But BU.5 men up 1 man at the moment. Extamens is currently not jump peeking, he's just waiting very patiently if Ruskin Ravens go towards B, if they look to try and sneak around, but With 15 seconds left, they will leave secret. They'll go back out and look to head towards A. And, well, I'm wondering what they're going to be doing. Just straight through mini? Looks like it.
Think that's the plan, but it's not going to work for them if Ladder keeps holding this position in the manner in which he is, as he gets one and searches for the second one as well. And with 30 seconds left, the Ruskin Ravens are pretty much committed to this A-bomb site. Yuzuki searching for the kill, throws the Molotov in towards the closed vents, but not going to get anything for it as Ladder kills Fizz, the player that was tormenting them for much of the last game. Yuzuki picks up a kill, sort of, I mean, almost a sympathy kill coming out there. I mean, what is there to get? And is he even going to get to the B-bomb site in time? He will, but I mean, he's not going to be able to clear it at all. Zace just going to slowly tap him down. And with 4 seconds left in the round, the Ruskin Ravens leave it far too late, just sitting, waiting for the BU.5 men to come anywhere near them. And obviously the BU.5 men, as they did on Overpass, sit passive, let the Ruskin Ravens waste that time, and win the round.
Odd play out of the Ruskin Ravens, but nice attempt and a nice play from BU.5 men. She's spamming through with some landing the shots and a valiant effort from Urob over by Secret. Important for him to at least get one kill, but he doubled up, got two. And he made his worth known. Good nades coming through early on in this round. Ale and Yuzuki down to about half, just over half. It's generous enough. That damage, that even just if it's a little bit, even if it's 10 damage, it does help out, as that means the M4s can get those one taps. Obviously, when they wouldn't normally be able to, with a fully functional, fully healthy T. As may certainly be seen here, is Cyberin is taken down to 16, but wins the fight versus Zay. He's looking to push down towards ramp. Urob in a very passive position, but still thinking about sneaking through. The edge of his elbow is slightly tapped off, and he will fall back, looking to throw the flash as Cyberin's trying to pick up the Galil and trying to stop anyone from recovering it, and he can't quite get it. A bit too short, apparently. Ruskin Ravens, they will take the B bomb site. 4-on-4 retake. Extamens looking to push forward, doesn't yet see Yuzuki's head and doesn't realise until it's too late. His head is gone. He'll go down. Yuzuki continuing to push and he'll continue to frag. Get to second headshot. Staying alive. Ray and Ladder now left alive. Ray gets one and that is it. Ladder gets nothing. Opened the door, shot in the face. 3-1. Ruskin Ravens not giving up the lead that easily.
I think the tactics for the Ruskin Ravens have been pretty obviously put on show. Just wait for the BU.5 men to overthink and then take advantage of it when they do. Yeah, very nice stuff. And it means that the BU.5 men essentially reset coming into this one. Only $2,000 on all of them. Urob saving that little bit more just so that he can pick up an AWP potentially later on in it. As the A-bomb site pushed into fast by the Ruskin Ravens. It's working out though as Ladder gets one and the Molotov actually going to work out in favor of the Ruskin Ravens. 2 kills for Yuzuki. Traded out well, though. And Zace and Ray probably only want to save these. I don't know why Zace is pushing in with that. He had one bullet's worth of HP left on him. And Ray now, with the Deagle, probably hoping to pick up a few more. But with 3 players surviving for the Ruskin Ravens, if they do survive, it means that the economy only going to get stronger for the T side. This is the thing. The CTs, if 3 players survive for them, the economy weakens slightly. With 3 players for the Ruskin Ravens, and the T side, it gets worse as Radar spots him, rips off his head, and the Ruskin Ravens will be able to drop to Fizz, who's looking a little bit lower on the weaponry, but BU.5 men going to not force buy into this one fully. Urob probably only going to be able to pick up half armor in the AWP, nothing more, which is likely just a little bit disappointing for him. It means that outside hold is going to be a little bit tender at the moment, and the Ruskin Ravens, well, maybe going to try and abuse it.
Yeah, that's certainly the best way to put it. It's certainly very tender. And the Ruskin Ravens, they love it when it's tender because they're just going to pull out their fists and just start beating it. Extamon's down already. Within 10-20 seconds of the round, he's dead. Raider just running outside. Ladder will find Ale and they'll get a frag too, but Anarchy all across the map. Fizz spotting out Ladder, realizes there's a guy in A. He's looking to challenge it and he will lose that challenge. As Urob's pushed up through Secret, hits a very clean shot into Yuzuki. And that does leave Raider by himself in a 1v3. Any damage he does, as you said, is a nice find. But first, he does have to get the first kill. Urob's watching with the AWP, aware of where he could be, waiting for a push. Raider taking his time. 1 minute left. A pause has been called, and certainly they can talk about it here as he looks to possibly back into Urob. And Urob will land the shot. getting BU.5 men their second round. Nice effort. Doesn't quite land, but not a bad CT side. Not a bad CT hold. Nice adaptability, especially from Urob, obviously pushing through Secret and cutting the offense in half.
I think, honestly, that's just down to the Ruskin Ravens not taking Secret control. If they push down into Secret as they have on previous rounds, they're likely going to win that one. It's just because they allowed Urob that time to slowly push up and tried to take the outside control that ultimately fell in favor of the CTs. It meant that they sort of gave it away. But, I mean, well done on the BU.5 men side. And I guess, especially at the end, they knew that the player was towards CT. They knew that he didn't know where the bomb was, and they just held it strong. Honestly, it was a nice little end of round play. But Ladder going to be a little bit low on the weaponry, on the utility. It doesn't matter though, as Urob faced instantly outside. These smokes coming down fast means that they are going to take that secret control that they avoided in the last round. Raider pushing in fast with that golden AK-47. Doesn't matter as Zace gets the kill on Yazuki, I think, on ramp there, and X-Damons gets 2, picks out the P250 as well, going to search for more, actually runs away, calls for his teammates as well to come and support him. The B bomb site is currently held, 3 players in towards here for the CT side, all holding it as X-Damons picks up the head of Fizz as well. Raider left in a 1 versus 3, takes 2 of them down to low HP though. X-Damons on 16, Ray only on 6, Urob as well, only on half HP. So this is doable for Raider despite the low HP on him and the relative position. The bomb down as well. And the CTs do know where it is, so it is still an uphill struggle, but doable.
Yeah, certainly very doable. But he does have to hit the bullets first. This is all down to reaction times, because he's obviously very low, very sore at the moment too, and he has to nail these shots instantly. If he spammed through the wall, he could get the kill, but he looks to walk straight into Ladder, who's full HP and on a headshot angle. And he's not going to win that fight. Cleaned up. And 4 alive for BU.5 men. Barely for 3 of them, but they're alive, and that's what counts. Getting to 3 rounds and somewhat breaking the Ruskin Ravens. Not looking too good, as they do opt for just a few pistols to try and cause damage to the BU.5 men economy. Any kill they do find is very valuable, but it's going to be very difficult if BU.5 men play it smart. But that's a very big hit. If they don't go pushing, if they don't go rushing through anywhere, and they just hold their angles, don't let anyone slip through, it should be a simple round.
We've seen the pistols be impressive so far today already as well. Both the Ruskin Ravens and BU.5 men have won a couple of eco rounds, but more notably, when we saw the Durham defenders on this map versus Swansea Storm Tacos, I mean, I think pistol rounds reigned supreme, didn't they? It was about 4 pistol rounds that got won in the end, so the Ruskin Ravens still can do this burst out onto a site, as actually it starts now. 2 kills though in towards Hart. Oh, and well, I mean, stopped in its tracks immediately. Ray with 3, Ladder with 2, and the Ruskin Ravens don't even get a chance to spread their wings. BU.5 men put a stop to that one early. 1 stone, 5 birds.
5 birds. Yeah, that's a pretty simple way to put it, and that was beautifully handled from BU.5 men. Easy enough, making it look simple, and Ruskin Ravens hitting a bit of a wall. They will be buying up once again. Ale's bringing out an SG, and with the mollies going down, 2 CT mollies going down to try and stop any sort of a smoke, or a full smoke wall going through. That is quite a nice thought, but it isn't going to stop the headshots from landing. Raider will take down Urob. That's the AWP out. The very crisp shots, but BU.5 men do strike back. Zays and X-Damons, the X duo, certainly making this very X-rated with 2 quite quick kills. Taking that man advantage back is Fizz. He suffers the same fate. Zays down low but still alive. They look to push into the site. Ladder swings out and he doubles them up, spraying them both down. And then you lose 1 man. A nice start from Ruskin Ravens. A good entry, but nothing following the entry.
It is almost like the BU.5 men hold is forcing the Ruskin Ravens players in towards that A bomb site. Just in the way that they're playing, they're stopping them. I mean, I don't know why there's this Ruskin Ravens idea that A bomb site is the only place to go, as it's going to be yet another rush, this time towards ramp, and well, there's quite a lot on Zace's shoulders here. Gonna not even have the utility to really hold it off. Won't really have time to adjust to it. Sees 1, sees 2, rips off the head of one of them, and Ale taken 6 HP off of his life. Ray with this SG gets 1, gets 2's ace as well, and going to be looking for that full ace round. Yuzuki flashed off the angle, missing the shots. Ray gets the kill, and I don't think Zace is going to be all that happy with that one. 4 kills to his name at the end of it. Can't pick up the 5th, but still, the BU.5 men as a team pick up a 6th round, and it's sort of gone completely in the opposite direction. It was 4-1 at the start of this game, was it not?
Yeah, it was. 2 rounds, they lost 1 and then 2 more, and now 5 straight for BU.5 men. Looking very confident, looking to get into their stride. They've built up money too, and that just shows that Ruskin Ravens haven't really been making much of a dent into the economy and getting the kills that they need. It's not been that close, to be honest. So they do look to try and get back into it now. 5 AKs, no AUE brought out, not on Yuzuki, not on anyone else. The Ruskin Ravens squad. But I think it's a lot more slowly. They've got a lot of lobby presence and 2 guys outside now, hoping to change it up. And as you said, they've consistently pressured A, so it would be nice to see them go for something different, show some ramp presence, and maybe go for a bit of a wrap and try and take full outside control, which I don't think we've actually seen yet. Maybe I'm just, having a moment, but they've not really challenged Europe in Heaven, right?
They've taken it, but they've never really done anything with it. They've just taken outside control and then gone towards A in the end. Ladder, though, may get caught out a little bit from Mini here, and actually does get caught out from Mini. That's fantastic play from both of the players. Urob, though, going to be a constant threat towards these T players, and it means that, well, 2 of them actually on incredibly low HP. Urob, though, won't know that and won't be calling, well, absolutely won't know that. Raider with a very good flank there. And, well, it doesn't matter how low they are. You can be on 5 HP or 100 HP. They still survived into that round. They still keep the economy. They still keep the weapons. And more importantly, they take the round.
And it's spicy from Raider. Just so smart to be watching the Heaven position as soon as that molly goes in. And as soon as they jump out, he just catches them, nails the pixel shots. Just tap, tap, both dead. Easy enough. Easy as pie. And that's very nicely played from Ruskin Ravens. And also, I realised why you kept saying Ruskin Raiders is because obviously Raiders on that squad. And he's not quite dead, but he may be soon as Urob's got very aggressive up by Red. The nade goes in, doesn't do that much damage, and he's still alive. He does nail a shot onto Cybrin, and that makes a 2nd kill in favour of BU.5 men, looking to keep hold of this advantage. He tries to fade away, and he does fade away. The smoke wall working against the Ruskin Ravens, and that will prevent Raider from getting a kill back. Fizz will eventually find one, but down 2 versus 4. It's not an ideal position to be in.
Certainly not ideal. I think maybe an understatement. A 4 versus 2. Ruskin Ravens as well. A full round down and have sort of looked down and out of this game in the non-pistol rounds. BU.5 men have been far, far stronger. As Fizz just searching for this kill on the outside, and Ale makes his presence known in towards Squeaky as well. Catches a quick glance of Ladder and takes quite a lot of damage to that nade as well. A really big dunk. Big potato, as it might be said. As AO just searching still for this kill and not going to get anything, and will eventually have to pick up the bomb as well, which leaves him further and further away from that A bomb site. Urob, though, mollied away from A, and, well, once again, it looks like the Ruskin Ravens are going to be the ones heading in towards A. Ladder won't let that happen, neither will Ray, picking up these kills with 20 seconds left in the round, and once again, the Ruskin Ravens spend so much time dillying and dallying, searching for a pick that the BU.5 men have no intention of giving them, but they end up timing themselves out of that round and essentially making it so that A bomb site was the only place that they could go.
Honestly, Ladder, Zaze, and Ray, they're performing so well at the moment. 12, 11, and 10 kills respectively. Stamens and Urob, they've just not really had to do anything, and Ruskin Ravens, they're looking a bit pale in comparison. They've not got their fragging power being brought through. Yuzuki was fantastic in the previous map, and I think actually Fizz, Raider, all doing very well, but at the moment, they've had a few individual plays, but they've slowed down, they've lost the momentum, and now looking slightly, again, flat. Zaze will win the fight versus Ale, but Cybrin is good with a trade that's at least stopping any multi-kills. Looking to try and peek the AWP, which is a questionable choice from Cybrin. Rob, sorry. Very fortunately for the Ruskin Ravens, misses his shot. They'll stay alive in a 4v4, and they'll hold ramp control. This is nice. You don't see this a lot, but taking that ramp position is so important because you can go down to B, you get access to that, you can go through all the way to Hell and up to Heaven. So this is a very nice hold and taking it slowly from Ruskin Ravens. As with this, they just take charge of the pace. And they can do what they like now. 45 seconds left though, so they're going to have to make a move sometime soon.
I'd say ramp is almost a more important position to hold than outside. I mean, there's just more that can be done from there, and it makes it a little bit more difficult, but the U.5 men currently have neither, and Ladder not going to be able to pull the magic off that he's managed in the past. Extremans and Urob left in a 1 versus 4, well, it was a 2 versus 3, make that a 1 versus 3, as Extremans not going to be able to get much done unless he can get a kill early, and I mean, instantly gets a kill early with the flash in his hands as well. Might be able to get more, but Raider puts a stop to that one pretty quickly. BU.5 men and Ruskin Ravens exchanging rounds, 1 for 1 for 1 so far. And, well, if it keeps up like this, it's going to be 8-7.
Rave's been really good. He's had some very important plays, very important kills. Obviously, he's not too much higher than the rest of the squad. So, you know, Cyber and Fizz, Yuzuki, they are quite close. Ale slightly at the back, but overall, he's just had some very important frags. Nice, like, sort of readjustment right whilst taking that fight, not it being expected in the same angle. So that sort of minute detail means he does win that firefight and get the Ruskin Ravens their 6th round. And looks to continue as they do try to, well, they do buy into this, obviously. Extremers is trying to stop that. He's pushed it up through Secret, and he will get a kill for free onto Raider, picking him up, and now he falls down. That's an early kill, and there's absolutely no reply from the T side. Nade's going in, it's too late, as he's already gone. He's dipped, he's out of Secret, and he's back to B.
Nice little kill, but really should have been watched by the Ruskin Ravens, as that position should be as well, as Urob just whiffs on that AWP shot just a little bit. I mean, it was a headshot angle, so not the simplest, but Urob looking for another one. That smoke isn't going to make it easy, and the 2 T players searching more, but Urob still gets the kill on towards Yuzuki, and Fizz ultimately does eventually get the kill on towards Extamens. We call that one a long-winded trade across all of that, as Extamens does eventually go 1 for 1, and Ale actually gets the kill on Zace on ramp as well, and now it means that that B bomb site completely opened up. Luckily for the BU.5 men, they have spotted the bomb, so they are, well, they will know that it is going to be a B hit at this point. Ladder as well in a pretty opportune spot, but it doesn't work out for him with the timing. Well, in the end, he still springs up and gets 1, but 2 kills going in favor of the Ruskin Ravens. It leaves Ladder in a 2 versus 1, and on the site, he spots him on the left-hand side of the, but I mean, he's not going to win that one with Ale spinning around, and that puts an end to our quick 1 round for 1 round swap that the Ruskin Ravens were going to have. It's still going to be 8-7 in one of the 2 ways, but it's whether it goes in favor of the BU.5 men and the Ruskin Ravens, and it's likely not going to go in the way of the BU.5 men considering the weaponry, but I've said that before and I've been wrong, haven't I?
Yeah, I mean, that's the caster's curse. You say it's not going to happen, you think, oh, they can't really win with this, and then they just go for a lobby rush and absolutely ruin Ruskin Ravens. Either way, last round and a half, it's worth forcing into, obviously, and they'll be trying their hardest, and it's certainly a threat that Ruskin Ravens need to be aware of. As Urob, he's forced forward from the molly, and he will somehow get a kill. It's Ale, unfortunately, not having a lot of luck. He did get 3k last round, so that's a nice find from him, but this round comes up dry, going down to Urob. Raider, he gets a kill of his own outside, looking for more. Ray dancing with death there, trying to peek out, and almost loses his head, but he will fall back. Ladder up close in mini, trying to spray, and the array of bullets, quite a few of them lined, but not quite getting a kill. All 3 CTs now here on A, or around A at least, waiting for the attack from the T side, and they've just slowed it down. They've got a minute to play with, so you know what? Smart. Take your time.
And they may as well, right? And, well, actually, you say take the time. Yuzuki gets a kill on Ladder there, and now it's just the 2 M4s that are left alive in the hands of the BU.5 men, Ray and Zace. 2 players that have been causing quite a few issues so far. Ray, actually only 10 and 8 in this game, and though is impressive, has quite a lot to do, and with that smoke hitting him, can't really get anything done. And once again, we see a T side that goes in, or a nuke that goes in favor of the T side. And, well, I mean, the Ruskin Ravens, I would say it was a convincing half. I don't really think it was, but the BU.5 men, quite the uphill battle on the second half.
Yeah, certainly is. The first half of the half, or the first section of the half, yeah, it was certainly quite dominant for the Ruskin Ravens, but that middle section, those 5 rounds in a row, if you look at the people who were live, there was 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So they were very clean and dominant rounds from the BU.5 men. So nothing to scoff at all. They can certainly, they've showed they've got potential to have flawless sides, but, you know, it's just not strong enough. It's not dominant enough that they're establishing any sort of a streak. Too much of a streak. Obviously, those 5 rounds were nice enough. And obviously, towards the end of that half, again, just the Ruskin Ravens coming back into it. So they're certainly going to be happy with that result in the end. 8 rounds on the T side, and now hoping to come into a pretty strong pistol on the CT side, as Julies have been bought up by Fizz and Cybran, hoping to try and cause as much damage as possible, as BU1.5 men look to charge straight into A. Cybran will get 1 kill, and Yuzuki gets 2, looking for more. Cybran gets his double, and Ray, blink and you miss it, is by himself. He's looking for whatever he can, and he can get nothing. Fizz will get the final kill. Oh, hello. 7-9. Not a bad pistol.
And that continues the streak of the Ruskin Ravens calling a timeout before every single pistol round so far, and I think that puts them 100% of the pistol rounds won up to date. It really makes the BU1.5 men struggle. I mean, that essentially means that they're 2 rounds down at least every single time. It's not like the CS of old, of course. If you're joining us back from, in a time machine from 2014, it doesn't mean that you get all 6 rounds, because that was the standard back in the day. The T's are liable to win a couple of rounds coming into this one. The Forces a little bit more well known, and actually you can buy on the 3rd round of each half, as Urob getting 2 kills with this Deagle as I talk about the past. And actually 2 very nice kills as well, taking the weaponry out of the Ruskin Ravens' hands, and it means that Cybran, left on the Dual Berettas, has a little bit of egg on his face here. Zace making the noise of the reload, though, going to be making a lot of noise that allows Ale to know that somebody is probably pushing in towards Heaven, and that MP9 against an unarmored opponent, I don't want to make presumptions here, but it probably is going to go in favor of the other player. Cybran doesn't realize just how low ladder is on the Glock and no utility. Ale falls out of favor, though. The player coming in from Heaven, flanking, means that it's not going to work out for him. The headshot on Cybran, though, gets away with a nice little kill. Fizz, I mean, just unlucky from the Ruskin Ravens, playing at close range, and despite the low HP on the BU1.5 men, doesn't matter. They still survive. They still win the half, and, well, the round, and even though they don't pick up upgraded weaponry, I think there was only a Deagle on Urov who, I mean, gets 2 nice kills, sure, but still, the Glock shouldn't be able to do as much damage as that.
They shouldn't have forced that by any means. They had superior weapons. I mean, I don't know why Cybran just stayed on the Julies, because now, after losing it, he's got to force up, and he does have a FAMAS. And as while I'm talking about how they lost the previous round, they're just winning the current rounds. 2 headshots, 1 with the Scout, 1 with the Deagle will net them 2 kills. Ray and Urob down. 3 players still alive and kicking on the T side, hoping to try and fight their way back into it. With 3 guys dead, and now 3 guys dead. It's getting more and more tricky. Cybran helping out. Ladder sort of abandoned in lobby as Zace is outside. They're so separated. The bomb's been dropped as well. It's just falling apart for BU1.5 men. Cybran gets another. And Zace is going to try and fight his way in such a tricky manner, and he can't. Yuzuki with the Scout just dancing on the angle, hits the shot, hits both shots, body twice, and it gets Ruskin Ravens to double digits, 10 rounds. BU1.5 men just getting battered back. Weird
Sometimes,
weird rounds.
Sometimes when I watch this, I think both teams should just constantly force, because it's the rounds they win every single time. We talk about how one team looks better and how, the force is going to make it difficult for them. It doesn't matter. Of course the Ruskin Ravens win. Of course they do. They're on the force. Of course they're going to win. The BU1.5 men, now they're on a force. I'm sure that Ray's going to pull out 5 Deagle headshots in this round. I mean, it's almost guaranteed at this point, because every single round we say it's in favor of the CTs or the Ts or whatever, it goes the other way. As Yuzuki trades 1 for 1 outside, of course, once again, I will say it, this favors the Ts to go 4 for 4, especially on a map like Nuke. It means that the CTs are spread actually very thin, and it means that certain areas of the map need to be split apart, as Fizz going to have a lot to do. The T player is going to be pushing out and sort of in a one-and-done position unless they line up for him. Going to hope that potentially they do, but it's going to be Ray that faces first. They do line up for him, but Extamen stops it before it gets out of hand. Yuzuki on half HP, going to be rotating down in towards Secret. 1 player in hell as well, but it's not going to be fast enough as Ladder plants the bomb. Extamen's holding for this player, pushing him from ramp as well, and we'll hear Yuzuki also. This 58 HP player looking at the wrong side at the moment, but so's Extamen's. And that's quite disappointing from his perspective. Ladder, the only one with any HP at the moment, faces 2 at the same time, and now it's left all on the shoulders of Zays, and these are not big shoulders at the moment. Only 8 HP to his name, and the smoke not going to make it easy in the slightest. Cybran shoots through it, gets the kill, and the Ruskin Ravens, despite me talking about how the Force always wins, they put a stop to that one, pick up an 11th round, and force BU.5 men onto a full eco.
Yeah, they finally sort of break the curse of buying back and forth with the forcing. And, I mean, good round from Ruskin Ravens. A nice attempt for BU.5 men, and that just came down to timing at the end of the day. That was purely on timing and who's looking where. As the actually player at ramp just looking at the wrong angle. Slightly odds for the charging straight through, and Yuzuki constantly like trying to take that fight. Obviously, he eventually did win it along with the help of his teammates, but a lot of peeking when it's not always necessary. They do try to charge the AUE outside. Reader's got it locked down though as he runs out of bullets. Can't quite get the spray. Zays is hopping away with the deagle, looking to cause damage, but can't quite do anything more. Cyber will finish him off. And with 5 alive, it's a nice, clean, flawless sweep to get Ruskin Ravens to 12. It's unfortunate for Ada there, not quite getting the spray. And a bit awkward, but he stays alive. No, I'm done.
I mean, what that means, 5 people staying alive, is that even if the Ruskin Ravens lose this one, they'll be able to buy into the next one, and potentially the one after that, depending on how well they break the BU.5 men, especially, well, Ladder instantly dying to Raider through a smoke, through the wall, and in the head. So, a nice little scoreboard triple there, as BU.5 men instantly 4 versus 5. Only 80% of the players that the Ruskin Ravens have, and only 66% of the rounds at the moment, as Urob searching for this kill outside, hoping that maybe one of the players overextends, but going to be peeking right into an AWP, and that left-handed peek not coming in useful for him. Yuzuki actually getting a second outside and hunting for more as well, as the players from the BU.5 men start throwing more and more. Well, as much as they can at the moment, but it doesn't matter because Yuzuki just picking them up one by one, and the BU.5 men fall ever further behind. Ruskin Ravens increase that gap from 4 to 5 and put the BU.5 men in a sticky situation where they're going to have to just buy deagles, no armor, maybe a little bit of utility, and just rush somewhere.
I said about the low HP, and I know there's 4 or 5 of them alive, but Raider on like 8 HP, he thinks, you know what, I'm going to swing this, I'm going to take this fight. Why? You're so low, he knows you're there, don't need to. And obviously he does die to it in the end, but I guess that's something, saying something, you know, for their confidence, and that they want to take on these fights and they want to win it. They're feeling it totally, and Zays, he's feeling it, takes down Yuzuki, the AWE out of the equation, out of the round. Nice shot indeed, Yuzuki. As that is a nice elimination. Raider looking to clean them up though, as he finds Extamens on top of the silo, trying to find Zays. The flash won't affect him at all. He will upgrade to the AWP, trying to find him, waiting for a peek, but it won't come. Ray will be left alone by himself. Does get one kill onto Ale, waiting for Fizz, but can't quite pull the trigger in time, as Fizz will wide swing and spray directly at him, stopping it there. 2 rounds away from taking the series 2-0 and continuing in the lower bracket, eliminating BU.5 men from this tournament.
For a team with such history as well on the BU.5 men side, I think they've been, you know, in and around the top 8 for, you know, a few seasons in a row. I remember, yeah, Adam Stroud, I've definitely casted him a few times, and he's, of course, a player for this, played in the Swiss, not been present, of course, in the top 8 games, having a stand-in for them. And the BU.5 men, once again, a man down, and, well, for a round that's so imperative for them to win, it's not good. I mean, every single round so far they've been losing out, but Extamens sort of evens it up at the moment, but Raider, he's gone so aggressive here. He might manage to catch one out. Doesn't, though. Extamens posts up on it, and the push through the smoke far too obvious. And after BU.5 men are a man down, it goes completely the other way. Ruskin Ravens lose a man, and they're going to have to search for a kill, because having one man holding A and one man holding B, with one man sort of in between, is not an ideal hold, and I don't think I'm the one that has to tell you that.
Yeah, we can see it from the map. Cybran sitting down by Secret, Fizz holding the ramp, and just Ale, well, sitting around trying to do what he can on A, waiting for a push. And he may be pushed quite soon. BU.5 men are taking their time, but with Ray emerging from Squeaky, or looking to emerge from Hut, sorry, it will be the first challenge of Ale, and as soon as Ale gets this kill, which is quite likely considering how high he is, and I just completely jinxed him. Ray swinging out, hits the instant headshot, lovely angle. That takes him down and puts it into a 2-on-4. Fizz in heaven, they know he's there. Cybran coming outside, Extamens is watching for him. It's going to be tricky to get into this site, but certainly possible. And as I say that, Cybran will not check the corner and instantly get shot by Extamens. Fizz, the last alive, getting shot at by the Orphan, just trying to find anything he can. Trying to just grip onto any sort of a frag. His bullets are fired in his way. So many just... Oh, Molly missing. And the bullets stop. The storm ends, and he'll just sit and wait in heaven. Waiting for Ray to possibly come up the ladder, but Ray instead goes outside. He's underneath him now, and he'll catch him off entirely. Gets his second kill, keeps BU and a half men alive. 14-9.
I mean, good for the BU and a half men to win that one, but they've got quite the challenge to win 6 in a row. Well, I mean, technically they could win 5 and then 1 more after they allow the Ruskin Ravens to win them, but, you know, I think they've got quite the uphill battle still, especially on the map pick of the Ruskin Ravens. A couple of mistakes as well from the Ravens that sort of equalised that one, going a little bit too aggressive when they didn't need to, and it's meant that the BU and a half men come out of that one the better of the two teams, as Raider does exactly what I was talking about in the last round, that happened in the last round. Pushes forward, perhaps needlessly aggressively, but could come out of this one well if his teammate baits for him in the correct way. Yazuki not had any contact yet though, and Zace and Urob definitely going to be applying for a kill, but Raider gets one, swings for the second one, takes him down to 40 HP and starts to back away. 100 HP on Raider, doesn't matter when the AK's there. One shot to the head takes him out, and it means that Cybran has to search for this kill. He knows that there's one there, but maybe doesn't realise that there's two, as he spots the player rotating in to help out his teammate, and Zace there might swing into Cybran's crosshair, sort of stuck between a little bit of a rock and a hard place here as the other CTs have moved away from him, and Cybran starts pushing in towards A. And actually, it looks like the Ruskin Ravens have mostly headed on towards the sites at the moment. There's nothing in towards outside. It means that the BU and a half men have full access to the outside position as Ray gets the kill on Ale, and now Cybran stuck in behind the vents, and, well, definitely stuck now that the Molotov's down and Ray gets the kill. It's left all on the shoulders of Yazuki and Fizz. Yazuki and, well, now just Fizz as Zace gets the kill in towards heaven. At least traded out by Fizz, but the HP on him doesn't make it easy. And I think likely just going to save this one in towards ramp, but the BU and a half men players not going to let this one stand. I don't think they've got enough money to push for it, for sure. Ray as high as 5,000, Zace on 3,700, and Ladder 3.5k. It means that they will be able to drop for their teammates. And more importantly, it means that the Ruskin Ravens will be one step closer to ecoing, and therefore one step closer to BU and a half men having a much easier round.
Yeah, they're certainly not raving at this point in time, as Fizz will indeed be successful with the saving at least at the moment. Ray is probing around there, but can't quite land a shot. I'm not sure if he was expecting it, as they do call a tech pause, I believe. Urob putting that in chat, hoping to get that going, and indeed we do. And yeah, Ruskin Ravens, they're taking the initiative. I like what Raider did, obviously, the 2 rounds ago, when he pushed. He should have got a double there, but Extamen's just pulling off a miracle play, somehow just landing that shot, and that basically kept BU and a half men alive, because if not, they would have been shut down there, and this match would probably be over. But Extamen's with a miracle, and the second round, again, the last round, again, a nice attempt from Raider to push through, to get aggressive, to try and get the kill, and he did get one, couldn't quite get any more than that, though. And, well, the Ruskin Ravens, they're just taking these fights, they're getting good positioning, but they're just not always winning them, and BU and a half men, you can see the determination and the resilience of using the util, sticking together, getting the trades, winning the fights, and Ray especially in that round, just getting so many crucial frags. Zace is actually at the top with 19, and Ladder and Ray close behind on 16 each. It's not too far apart, and Ale actually said earlier on in chat that he was having a corker of a game, which, as you can see, it's only 6 kills. Not the best at this point in time, and he needs to step up. If he wants the Ruskin Ravens to take this map and end the series here, he needs to start getting some important frags, because 6 at this point in time, it's not good, especially compared to Raider on 22. It's Not to name and shame, but naming and shaming.
Yeah, it's easy, of course, to look at the best players on the team and say this is what they're doing right, but sometimes you have to look at the worst and say, listen, even if they aren't getting the kills, maybe not feeling it coming into this game, they've sort of lost a little bit of that energy from the first map. There needs to be some sort of strategy that allows them to use themselves as bait and at least trade 1-for-1, maybe 2-for-1 on these players. I mean, just making themselves a nuisance. Of course, AO might be able to go and get more kills and do a little bit more, but it's always better when sort of it starts going wrong to use yourself as bait and sort of understand where you're going wrong. And so I think that the Ruskin Ravens might want to change that up a little bit, especially 24 rounds into this with only 6 kills. Maybe
apparently he's the IGL, so that does kind of explain it, but also a bit more than 6, bud. Go on. I mean, maybe good looking, but come on, you get more than 6 kills if you want to win this game. Because Fairs, if you can make do with that, great. But also, BU1.5 Men, they're a good squad. They're all trying their best at the moment. They're all doing pretty well. They're all getting their frags. So maybe, or at least tell Raiders to carry a little bit harder. Either way, we need some frags for Ruskin Ravens, especially in this round. They have forced up not the best amount of util, but the weapons, they're there. Yuzuki in a scout, but I mean, he's proven his worth with it. Hits the headshots, and I mean, that's all you need to get the kills, right?
Exactly. And even when MSL was under a lot of scrutiny for not fragging enough as an IGL, he had more than 6 kills. I'll say that much. So the Ruskin Raven just maybe need to open themselves up a little bit at the moment. A lot of utility used very early on as well. It means that the BU1.5 Men are going to have a bit of an easy push in towards ramp here. The flash is the only thing that's available, and it goes far too deep. Jumping up on towards the railings actually does far better than I thought he was going to do. 150 damage done in total. Ray losing out in that exchange, but Yuzuki gets the kill on Urob, and was that an AWP lost, I think, on the BU1.5 Men side? It means that Zace now stuck in a bit of a difficult situation that he's not actually going to be able to get out of, as Raider gets 1, gets 2, and gets a 3rd to finish it off. It means that the Ruskin Ravens are on match and map point 15-10 in their favour, and at least the BU1.5 Men are able to buy up into this one, but still 5 rounds they've got to win in a row just to take it to overtime.
I said either AO needs to step up or Raider needs to continue carrying slightly harder, and he did. Nice 3K, just completely shutting down any sort of a chance that BU1.5 Men had there as Yuzuki. He's been performing quite well as well, and he'll continue with a little bit of luck on his side. Completely flashing through the smoke, he will get 1 more kill. And there's only 4 players standing between Ruskin Ravens, oh my god, Ruskin Ravens, Ruskin Rabbits, whatever, same thing. They're from Ruskin, and that's all that counts, as they are just winning. And we'll know their name by the end of this series as BU1.5 Men. And they're trying to fight back. 2 guys left alive. That is Ladder and Zaze, and they're trying their hardest, but with Zaze being dropped, Ladder is all that remains between him and elimination, on his team, and elimination, looking to try an entry into the A bomb site, sitting in hut and just biding his time. He doesn't have the bomb on his back, and he's got a 1.5 or 1.5 seconds left, sorry. But with Fizz pushing through ramp, this is just getting trickier and trickier, and Cybran will be the man to finish it all. Takes him down, and that's a 16-10 scoreline.
Ultimately, the Ruskin Ravens showing the quality there on both maps, both picks. I mean, even when the BU1.5 Men pick Overpass, it doesn't matter. Actually, more impressive on Overpass than they were on Nuke. And yeah, make home in the lower bracket for longer, and that unfortunately means the end of the BU1.5 Men in the top 8. They are gone now after losing that best of 3, and will have no chances to continue.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. That's unfortunately all it is. That's all we'll see from BU1.5 Men and Ruskin Ravens. There you go. They do live to see another day going through, and I'm not quite sure who they will be playing against. So make sure you do stay tuned and follow obviously Null's Twitter to find out quite how the bracket's going when it does develop by the end of the night, because quite a few games are still going on. But I hope you enjoyed that game. It was, I think, a good series in the end. I think it was pretty good. It was a nice display in the second map. Second map was certainly better than the first, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Much closer. Much more interesting. And more to talk about in general. They just were a lot better on that one BU1.5 Men. Unlucky to lose it, in all honesty. I think that if they'd have shown the same level of skill coming into that one, you know, at the early rounds, it probably could have been ending up going in their favor. You know, they were losing 4-1 at the start and then just came to life in the middle of it. I think genuinely, if that was a best of 1, if they'd not come into that one having lost Overpass, we might have seen a game that BU and a half men could have won.
Yeah, we certainly could have, but I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. And as I said, they got beaten 16-3 in the first best of one tonight. That's going to be demoralising. And after the display on Overpass wasn't the best. It was their map pick, but they did good to try and fight back into Nuke. And it's a shame we wouldn't see much more of them. But at the end of the day, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose, and someone's going to be eliminated from this tournament, and that is BU and a half men. Anyway, that is it from us tonight. Obviously, a shout out to our sponsors, as per usual. SteelSeries with their award-winning gaming gear with a Prime student discount. And obviously Intel, which is bringing you this fantastic broadcast. Also a shout out to the producers and the Observer, FaceCat and BK. I've been at Poolio. This has been Zach, and well, unless you have anything to add, it's good night from me.
And that's good night from me. Lovely having you guys, and we look to see you again next week.